Hey everyone, Saul from Three Kingdoms Games here, coming to you today with some big news from the world of Magic. Now, for those of you who don't know, on Thursday, June 27th, Wizards of the Coast has announced that Pauper will now be a legal sanctioned format for Magic. Now, as some of you may not know, Pauper is a commons-only format that started on Magic Online and started to take hold as a casual format in paper. The only restrictions to the card base were there was a ban list, or there is a ban list, I should say, as well as it had to have been printed as a common on Magic Online in order to count for Pauper. So this led to some discrepancies between the physical paper card base and the Pauper legal card base, because there's been cards that have been upshifted over the years from commons to uncommons, or in some cases just have never been reprinted in an online format. So you couldn't use them in paper, which led to some issues regarding the people who play in paper versus the people who play online, because there was this question of why is one card legal and one card isn't? Why couldn't Magic Online print more? Now, because in January of last year, Channel Fireball and a couple other notable sources, I believe SCG Tour, started hosting Pauper events and Pauper side events, I should say, at their majors. It led to this big surge of Pauper players for paper. Wizards then apparently went and observed these events as well as other stores that hosted Pauper events and noticed that there was some discrepancies or confusion between what cards were legal and what weren't legal due to this odd choice of it had to have been online printed as a common in order to be legal for Pauper. So what they've decided to do is unify the paper base and the online card base. So what this means is now if a card has ever been printed as a common, online or in paper, it is now legal in Pauper, which means about 450 brand new cards just got added into the Pauper card pool. So, for those of you who play Pauper, you're probably going to see a lot of changes in the decks. Now, when they announced this, they did immediately ban 3 cards because they were really overpowered commons. You know, Sinkhole, 2 black mana, destroy a land, High Tide, and I'm blanking on the third one right now. But they banned all of these cards for reasons, and I'm sure they're going to have to go over this list again and probably ban some more cards, because this is a lot of brand new cards to deal with, interactions they probably didn't think of, because Wizards R&D has said this before, they don't really take eternal formats into consideration when they design sets, so you get these weird funky interactions when you're dealing with sets that have been printed 20 plus years apart, which is what you're going to see now. You're going to see commons from sets as far back as potentially alpha, well, I should say beta, being added to the Pauper format. Also, because it's going to now take more of a spotlight center stage thing, Pauper is probably going to go up in value a little bit for some of your cards. Sorry, it's just the nature of when things get more publicity and more spotlight on them, and the potential of now Pro Tours and things like that being held in the Pauper format, prices will go up. Though commons being commons get reprinted at a higher rate than any other rarity, so, you know, maybe Wizards will help this out. The other thing that we could possibly look forward to is the idea of a Pauper master set. I think this would be really cool. You know, maybe print some of these older commons that are really sought after, like Rhystic Studies and things like that, as rares and mythics, as well as downshift some of these uncommons and rares that are kind of underpowered as uncommons and rares, but are good commons. Downshift those down to common, give us something like that. That'd be really cool to see, I think. And the other really big news is that as of July 2nd, Gatherer will actually host, or well, sorry, I should say Gatherer will show you cards that are Pauper legal. You can actually now use this as a defining factor in searching cards. So all in all, this is huge because this is now going to take Pauper from a casual format to now a more competitive format, which I personally think is really cool. It's something that I think has needed to be done for a while, but Wizards is finally responding to the fan base wanting this. So hopefully this means big things for Pauper now. I want to know what your thoughts are on Pauper. Do you think this is a good idea that they moved it from casual to more spotlight? Do you think, unfortunately, the financiers are going to kind of go nuts and bounce like some card prices through the roof? Is Pauper still going to be a great format that is affordable, kind of legacy-esque for people to get into? As always, you can follow us on all major social media. That's in the description box below. You can follow our blogs at threekingdomsgames.com, and you can always stop in the store. There's one in Markham and one in Toronto. I'll see you next time.